Wow, Blake Lively. What? They talk about how stunning they look, nothing else. I don't know what happened to TMZ. Maybe they're scared of being dragged into this law.
Hollywood just completely humiliated Blake Lively again after her latest desperate attention grab. The tea is scalding hot today. Can we talk about what went down at the 2025 Time 100 gala? Blake literally turned her mother's trauma into a PR sideshow. She embarrassed herself so badly that even her fake supporters couldn't pretend to clap anymore. I'm cringing just thinking about it. And poor Ryan Reynolds, he was literally hiding his face, watching their entire fake perfect couple empire crumble right in front of everyone. You could practically see his soul leaving his body in real time.
What? They talk about how stunning they look, nothing else. I don't know what happened to TMZ. Maybe they're scared of being dragged into this lawsuit and now they're just changing lanes here. So Blake Lively had this speech. Someone recorded it and put it on.
I swear, Blake Lively really thought she was Harriet Tubman reborn at this gala. I have never seen someone prance around so proudly in my entire life, acting like she personally freed the slaves with nothing but a hair flip and a cupcake recipe. There she was, all dressed up like she single-handedly ended systemic racism, grinning ear to ear while floating across that red carpet. And as if her delusion wasn't bad enough, Time magazine actually had the nerve to sandwich Blake Lively between Serena Williams and Simone Biles. Two actual legends who have broken records, fought real racism, and represented genuine struggle. And then there's Blake, the girl who thinks plantation weddings and fake Cherokee photo shoots count as civil rights work. Time magazine just permanently damaged their credibility this April 2025 just so Plantation Barbie could have her moment in the fake sun. And honey, it didn't stop there. Megyn Kelly, who never holds back on a good day, absolutely dragged Blake for turning her mom's trauma into a clout-chasing PR stunt. She called out how disgusting it was that Blake used deeply personal pain like some Hollywood prop just to get sympathy points.
Just changing lanes here. So Blake Lively had this speech. Someone recorded it and put it online. She talked about how her mother was almost killed by a co-worker before she was born, and then her mother heard on the radio another woman talking about how she survived abuse.
The secondhand embarrassment was through the roof. Megyn did not stutter either. She said what everybody was thinking, that real survivors don't parade their family's trauma on stage like it's some sparkly accessory. It was the kind of roast that you could feel through the screen. Even the Wi-Fi lag couldn't save Blake's dignity at that point. Meanwhile, Ryan Reynolds was trying his absolute best to hold it together, but failing miserably. Mr. I joked through everything actually had an explosive anger moment right there on the red carpet. The illusion of the perfect smiling couple finally cracked, and it cracked hard. Ryan looked like he was either about to punch a wall or file for divorce papers on the spot. Honestly, it was the first genuine thing either of them had shown in public in years. Hollywood insiders were already mocking Blake behind closed doors, but after that red carpet meltdown, oh honey, they took the gloves off. They started calling it her Plantation Barbie Redemption Tour, and trust me, nobody was saying it with love. Her whole fake glam, fake activism house of cards is collapsing faster than her publicist can buy fake Instagram comments.
Just something missing. It feels awkward. You can also see he's nervous. He feels very nervous. Is he going to get asked a question? At some of these softball places like Time, they clearly aren't. And the question is like, why is he even there at the Time Summit? Was this part of the deal in order to get Blake Lively on the list? Did Leslie Sloan say, and we'll give you Ryan for your creative summit live in person?
And if you thought Blake couldn't dig herself deeper, wait until you hear about her Time 100 speech. The tone-deaf disaster that made everybody watching want to physically leave their body. First of all, she stalled by dramatically warning people that she'd be talking about trauma triggers. Big emotional pause, tissues ready, only to reveal basically nothing. She used her mother's traumatic history as shield armor while saying almost nothing concrete. The whole thing felt like one giant performance piece. Meanwhile, conveniently, Time 100 somehow forgot to mention that Blake herself had a whole plantation wedding back in 2012. You know, because nothing says voice for justice like throwing your wedding party on the graves of actual slaves. It's called Taste, Blake. Look it up sometime. Instead of focusing on the black community she was supposedly representing that night, she turned the entire speech into an off-gram Hallmark movie about herself.
There, and I don't know why Ryan Reynolds was doing this speech yesterday that I also talked about. He was interviewed on stage. He was asked questions that he didn't answer, and he was sitting like, when you look at his body language in that interview, he's sitting like this scared little child in that.
As if anyone needed more proof that Blake's activism begins and ends exactly where her own name is concerned. She stood there, decked out in a $25 0-cent designer gown, preaching about survival and strength while flexing luxury that literally none of the people she's pretending to champion could afford in 10 lifetimes. The hypocrisy was so thick you could have buttered it and served it at the after party. The audience's live reactions were honestly the cherry on top of this disaster Sunday. There were frozen faces everywhere, and not in a Botox way, just pure soul leaving the body awkwardness. People were clapping like they were being held hostage at gunpoint. And then there was that one woman in black caught on camera straight up cringing during the speech, not even trying to hide it. She had the face of every person forced to sit through a drunk wedding toast from someone they barely know. Honestly, she deserves a Pulitzer for that performance alone because she captured what every single person in that room was feeling, but too polite to say out loud. And just when you thought it couldn't get more embarrassing, Ryan Reynolds, the long-suffering PR puppet himself, delivered the red carpet moment that said it all. On April 25th, 2025, right there for the world to see, Ryan visibly threw Blake's massive dress train out of the way, not to help her, but to save himself from tripping. It wasn't even subtle. He didn't even pretend to be gallant about it. Just pure survival instincts kicking in. Must have been the first honest move he's made since he started cosplaying as Mr. Perfect Husband. As if that wasn't enough, a reporter conveniently yelled out, "Blake, we're on your side," mid-red carpet chaos, because nothing screams genuine support like a painfully obvious PR plant from Hollywood Reporter. It was so forced that even Blake looked confused about how to react. She just did this awkward smile like she realized the scam was too obvious. But the cameras were already rolling. Peak cringe achieved. Let's talk about Ryan's face for a second, because the man could not have hidden his emotions if he tried. Close-up screenshots captured his eyes shooting daggers straight at Blake like she had personally set his Deadpool costume on fire. It wasn't just anger, it was the kind of raw, feral, I regret every life choice that brought me here rage. Lip readers online even claim Ryan muttered, "What the?" under his breath, and honestly, based on his face, I totally believe it. Popcorn Planet's analysis from April 2025 caught it all in slow motion glory. Ryan didn't even try to hide the disgust anymore. I don't know if he did that on purpose to look more like a victim, or if he just felt really uncomfortable sitting there, but there was nothing uncomfortable about Blake Lively posing on the red carpet. And if you're wondering how this PR dumpster fire got approved in the first place, well, welcome to the genius planning of Leslie Sun at Time magazine. According to Hollywood insiders, it was all part of a bigger scam. Apparently, the only way Time could justify putting Plantation Barbie on the Time 100 list was if Ryan agreed to show up live at their creative summit. You scratch my back, I scratch yours, right? Except now everybody's backs are getting set on fire because the plan backfired so spectacularly that it's almost impressive. Rumors are swirling harder than ever that the Time 100 speech wasn't just a tone-deaf mistake, it was a straight-up package deal. Give us Ryan live and we'll turn a blind eye to Blake's plantation wedding and shady lawsuits, and judging by the looks on everyone's faces at both events, the only thing that got packaged was their dignity. Straight into a trash can, there they are. That earring, I gotta be honest, they are trying so hard, all these photos are just ridiculous. Look at the grin, this photo really took the cake for me. Meanwhile, Ryan's brand has taken such a beating that Popcorn Planet is already warning that even Deadpool 3 might not be safe. And that's not just opinion, that's mass. Ryan's public approval numbers have dropped off a cliff. The engagement stats for Blake's Time 100 gala coverage show that 60% of the attention she got was pure hate, based on TikTok analytics polled in April 2025. 60%! She couldn't even trick people into fake clapping properly anymore. Ryan looks absolutely terrified. Like Ryan is genuinely stuck between these women. It's all a PR stunt, and the fallout just keeps getting worse. Reports suggest that their glam squads, stylists, and even their own longtime PR reps are reportedly jumping ship. Imagine being so toxic that the people who paid to lie for you are like, yeah, we're good, thanks. You know you've truly hit rock bottom when even your publicist is looking for new clients. Blake Lively and Ryan Reynolds have officially become Hollywood's hottest potato, and nobody wants to catch it. If you thought Blake Lively's career couldn't tank any harder, don't worry. Hollywood delivered a knockout punch straight from the Billionaire Girls Club. The drama kicked into overdrive when Brittany Mahomes, yes, Brittany from Kansas City Chiefs fame, allegedly leaked that Blake tried to seduce Justin Bolden and got straight up rejected. April 2025. Boom, the tea exploded everywhere. And honestly, it explains so much. Blake tried to cozy up to Justin like she was auditioning for Desperate Housewives Home Rockery Edition. And when he said, "Nah, I'm good," she went full psycho ex-girlfriend mode. Instead of moving on like a normal adult, she apparently decided the next best move was to ruin his career with a fake lawsuit. Because when you're Blake Lively, rejection isn't just personal, it's a full-blown Hollywood scandal. Blake and Ryan and her mother decided to attend the Time 100 Gala. There they are, look! And guess who wanted absolutely no part of that mess? Taylor Swift! Taylor, queen of calculating her every public move, started aggressively pulling away faster than Blake could fake another trauma speech. Taylor refused deposition subpoenas tied to Blake's sham lawsuit, so hard you could practically hear her lawyers laughing while slamming the phone down. Taylor wants nothing to do with Plantation Barbie or her crumbling PR empire, and honestly, who can blame her? Taylor built her entire brand on being the victim with chart-topping bops. She doesn't need Blake dragging her name into courtroom soap operas that even Lifetime would reject as too messy. Time magazine didn't escape the blowback either. People roasted them so badly for putting Blake next to actual black civil rights heroes like Serena Williams and Simone Biles that you'd think they handed her the Nobel Peace Prize for baking cupcakes. For a lot of people, that was the final straw.